Welcome to Dr. Amazon Podcast, the emergency support channel for FBA private label sellers. We invite top Amazon experts to share the most efficient tips and tricks for your businesses. We are trying to deliver only accurate, credible, and relevant information. My name is Vitaly Fizhniak and I am the CGO of Profit Whales. And let's get started. Today we have an amazing guest on our show, the founder and CEO at Rank Bell and Brand Accelerator that helps Amazon businesses to grow up to 7 and 8 figures through the driving the organic sales with a keyword ranking and optimization. Izabela Hamilton, welcome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you inviting me on this podcast. Now I feel like Profit Whales is like everywhere I turn, I hear your guys' name. So it was only normal that we would meet and talk in a podcast. So I really, really appreciate you inviting me here. It's a pleasure.
Exactly. Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you here. And I'm really glad that we have such good expert in the case of the ranking. And today we will get like a bomb podcast in the case of the information and insights. So yeah, I'm really great.
Thank you. I feel like a celebrity, even before we started the podcast, you gave me so many compliments. I'm blushing. Thank you so much.
You are. So in the case of the Amazon sphere. Yeah. So I'm really great to see you and to talk about the ranking strategies on Amazon because without like ranking, we couldn't move much, even just a good product will be. And today, according to that, I would be glad if you we'll start from the beginning. Could you please tell us more about your experience with the e-commerce and how you did get a chance to go into the Amazon site?
Yes, and this is such a good question because, every time I get asked this question, I think about it. I'm like, how did I really get started? Because a lot of people, start something and then when they look back, they have no idea how they got to the point. And those are probably the best stories because it's like it's nothing necessarily planned. So for me, I've always loved Amazon. I love their company culture. I love how well they're doing. I mean, they, all that hard work that Jeff Bezos put into and determination and not quitting for me has always been like a driver. So I was living overseas at the time in Africa. I was working on a special project overseas and Amazon was the only place that actually delivered packages to countries like this. Mm-hmm. So for us, people working there, it was like Christmas every time you got a package from Amazon. So I started looking into it more and more, like, why is it that Amazon is the only company that can do this? And, all these things that I found out about Amazon, how they love their customers. Like nobody is beyond their customer. Like and everybody knows this, sellers is like on second or third place. The customer is the number one. And I really like that about them. And then I started researching, how do people even list a product on Amazon? Because, just as a buyer myself, I always thought that Amazon is just selling products. I didn't know there's third-party sellers. I had no clue. And actually, if you ask people even on the street right now, they will tell you the same thing because they think Amazon is the only one selling the product. So I was like, oh my God, this is kind of cool. So people can actually start making money on this. And just by talking about it with different people, I came across one person who's like, you know what, my dad has a factory that does light bulbs. Do you think that's something we can put on Amazon? I'm like, let's try it, right? So we tried it, and this was like 6 years ago, and it was like a smashing success. Imagine 6 years ago, you would post anything, and you would literally make sales and sales and sales. So he's like, you know what, do you mind if I tell my friend about you? I was like, yeah, of course. So, and this wasn't even paid. He's like, oh, he's going to pay you. I'm like, oh, even better. So we just started slowly. Like I did the listing for them. I've never done a listing in my life, but because, you look at Amazon. So that's what I'm saying. It almost started all kind of like by accident, but it led into something amazing that I love.
So that was as a beginning of your finding the idea of like the agency or helping Amazon sellers like on the beginning.
Exactly. So basically this service found me more than me going out and finding it. Just as I said, a lot of people prepare their whole life. They go to college to study something, and they get to a point, they're like, okay, now I have my college degree in, accounting. Now I'm going to become an accountant. So they have their whole life planned out. For me, it was like, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And then it was almost like a spark. Like I just fell in love with it because I would see immediate results. And that is so in the beginning, we were doing a lot of quality control. So for example, the guy with the light bulbs, he would send some products to some people that I knew, and they would inspect it. Oh, this is good. This is not good. If the majority were good, we were able to send it to Amazon. So the next person, when they came, we kind of did the same thing. Like, hey, can you do a quality control? So what we noticed is the more people bought the products, the higher the rank. Again, this is all by like really accident and trying. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So the more people, and then we're like, okay, what if we do like coupons? What if we do discounts? And then, in the beginning, like 6 years ago, it worked a little bit, but then we noticed like maybe 3 years ago that they didn't really work that well anymore. So we switched to what people call now search, find, buy. So once we switched to this, it was even like mind blowing. It was even better and faster because it was all really organic sales coming in every day.
So each year you just do some changes or perform some actions for different Amazon sellers and understand what in the case of the ranking is like working and what is ranking like generally in Amazon site.
Yeah, so ranking really, we refer to the position a product has for that specific niche that they're in. So the lower, you already know this, but for those that are listening that might not be so familiar with ranking, the lower that number is, the better, the more sales you have. So when you first post the product on Amazon, your score or your number may be 10,000. So we're trying by ranking your product to lower that number. So at 10,000 ranking, you're not selling that much. But if you move closer to 1,000, that's when you start seeing all these sales. And of course, the goal is to get to number one. Absolutely. So, and you do this, by using in conjunction with PPC, by doing PPC and doing giveaway campaigns, which is what we call these search, find, buy, methods. Yeah. So you come with the product, it's listed on Amazon. We do a certain amount of giveaways that will push the ranking up.
Yeah, got it. So if we will come back in the case of the ranking,
please.
like
sorry, I keep going.
No. Everything is perfect. I guess that everyone will be glad to know this story about the rank bell, and your experience. So what about like now? I know that a lot of algorithms just changed, and we could see like the same inside the PPC side. And what about the ranking? Yeah, maybe could you please share with us your experience like right now? What could work as a tips and tricks inside the Amazon ranking?
Absolutely. So, people always think, I'm going to have a product on Amazon and it's going to be so hard and it's going to cost so much. And, sometimes they want to give up. So my thing is always, yes, there's going to be a cost. Just like if you were to invest in buying machinery for, let's say you're starting to make bread, you need to invest in those machines, right? But when people come on Amazon, they're like, well, I don't need to invest in those machines. I can just list the product on Amazon and it's going to get sold. It doesn't work this way. You do have to invest a little bit just as you would invest in machines for your company. So what are the machines for Amazon? PPC and search, find, buy campaigns. Of course, you have a few other ones that you can do, such as influencers on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. But if you come down to the last two, the PPC and the giveaways, you should always save money for that. So when it comes to ranking, let's say you have a product that's, fairly competitive. What you want to do is start giveaways right away. Because a lot of people, post their product is live and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I think I'll just wait. No, you have to start right away, because that honeymoon period starts when the product is live. And for those that don't know what honeymoon period is that time from when you started the product, and nobody actually knows the exact timing. Some people say it's 30 days. In my opinion, it's a little longer. I would say it's even up to 60 or 90 days. And this honeymoon period is the time where Amazon collects data on you. It's nothing scary. It's nothing crazy. They literally want to see, okay, if somebody's searching for your product, where does your keyword land? What is your PPC spend? So they're gathering all this information from you. If you're showing Amazon nothing, if you're doing absolutely no giveaways, no PPC, or you're showing Amazon that your product is worth nothing. It can literally be the best product in the world, certified by the best judges. If Amazon does not consider your product valuable, you will never rank again. So first day you launch, start doing giveaways. We usually recommend using a tool such as CPR from Helium, where you have an amount of 8 days and you do certain amount of giveaways per day. But if you don't have Helium 10, that's fine. You don't have to, but start doing some giveaways. You don't have to have that specific number in mind. I mean, yes, if you come down to it and you're like, I really want to land on page 1 by this date, then yes, you will have to be a little bit more specific. But just to start, I would say even do 5 giveaways a day. It would be good. But don't stop short, because I'm going to give you an example right now. We had a seller who did a keyword, and in 2 days, he was already ranked on page 1. He said, oh my God, this works amazing. Let me switch the keyword and let's do another one. So what they do, this is what happens when sellers fall in rank, because they get so excited and they're like, oh my God, this works so well. Let me change to another keyword. You have to remember to give Amazon enough time to process the fact that your product is good and it's buying. So instead of cutting it short at 2 days, continue for that 8 days, 10 days. I even recommend 30 days. If you really want to be strong on Amazon, have a giveaway campaign for 30 days. You can do, I'm telling you, even the minimum 3, 4, 5 a day, and continue. You want to keep showing Amazon that people are searching for that keyword and they're buying your product and not the other guys. So when you do that, eventually your ranking will stick, because this is a problem that a lot of sellers, you will see in all the groups. Why did I fall from page 1 to page 2? Because they are not consistent enough. Just like Bezos, he worked and worked and worked and worked and worked and hoped that one day he will make money, and one day he did. So you cannot jump from the first day, expect to make millions of dollars. But if you're giving Amazon consistent data, you're showing up every day, you're doing giveaways, you're doing PPC, you will be successful. Sorry, this is the long answer to your short question.
That is amazing question, and it's fair enough in the case of the Amazon side, because I really agree with you that the Amazon, it's about the long run. It's not about like short period of time or getting some amazing sales with a like 1 week or 1 month, something like that. It's not. But I really like your idea in the case of the honeymoon period, and like time frames, because we have the same understanding as the attribution window when the Amazon collects the info and we just fill it in the case of the PPC side. It takes like from 14 days up to 48 or something like that in the case of the data analysis and seeing how good do you spend, and how many sales you just get during this period of time. And according to that, how about like new products that we launch? Should we like plan all our actions for the long period of time? Like for the next 2 months, we have a plan how we will do the giveaways, how we will spend the PPC side. So should we have something like a marketing budget when we start selling on Amazon?
Absolutely. So my thinking is always this: if you invested 5,000 in products, you should invest 5,000 in marketing. However, you just double that, however you want to spend that. So if you're thinking, okay, I'm going to do 2,500 in PPC, 2,500 in giveaways, or, if you want to do more PPC, less giveaways, or the other, you can play around however you want, but you should definitely have that in mind. Again, it doesn't matter how good your product is if nobody knows about it. And how do people know about it? When they buy it on Amazon. Because a lot of sellers come to me and they say, my product is the best anybody has ever made. And I say, I agree. And I believe you, but it doesn't matter what I believe. It matters what the buyers believe. It matters where it is on Amazon. How many times do we buy things on Amazon and they're just bad and they were on page 1? You know what I mean? I'm sure the other people's products that are on page 2 or 3 maybe are better, but nobody's buying them. Mm-hmm. They want to buy what's on page 1. I do this myself and I shop on Amazon all the time. You think I have time to go on page 2 and 3? I just need something. I just buy it. That's it. So it's very important to definitely have a budget. Make sure that you have that money. And if you don't, just wait. Just wait till you have the money. Don't just list your product and say, oh, maybe I'll get a sale here and there. It will eventually. No, you are doing actually worse by bringing your product on Amazon and not doing anything than it would be for you to wait. I know a lot of people think, oh, but I'm missing this quarter and I'm missing this quarter. You are not just going to have sales just because you're on Amazon. There's a million other sellers with your exact same product. This is a battle that all the sellers have because, they may sell the exact same product. I even myself, I bought the sealer for like plastic bags. And the same exact one, there was one for $8, $9, $12. I already knew that is the same one. So for me, it was fine to go on page 2 or 3 to look for the cheapest one because I needed like 5 of them, But most people don't know that. They are like, oh my God, they're on page 1. They're the best. Mm-hmm. Because Amazon, basically when you're on page 1 is recognition from Amazon that you are worthy of being on page 1, right? Because the same, like even the same microphone can be on page 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and maybe even cheaper, but it doesn't matter because people think, oh my God, it's on page 1. That means it's good. Yeah. And sometimes they won't even mind paying a little extra because it's on page 1. So being on page 1 has so many benefits that I wouldn't even know where to start. So have a budget, use that money, start PPC. And also what I suggest for brand new products and brand new sellers, use the tools Amazon gave you. Use like early reviewer program. I see a lot of people are afraid of that because they're like, oh, if I get like a 1-star or 2-star, like it's going to ruin me. I mean, yeah, it happens sometimes. I'm not going to lie. Like I've seen the cases where they get like 2 stars or 3-star, but you're still showing Amazon that you are utilizing their tools, their software. You want to show, again, it's part of the data. So I always recommend to all the sellers, do it. I think it's $65 is not too much. And you may get 1 5-star, 2 5-star. At least you have something to start. Because when you get on page 1, it's, you made it. You're on page 1, you will have to show the social proof. And the social proof is in reviews.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like the idea in the case of the reviews and to be like a proactive inside the Amazon. Yeah, do and use all the actions that we could perform regarding to that. But let's speak more about the first page. Yeah, because we speak a lot about that, and you say the experience not only Amazon seller but Amazon buyer. Yeah, when we understand that.
Correct. Yes.
You could buy the same product on the second page and something like that. Yeah. How to be fixed on the first page. Yeah, if you will get a chance to be ranked with some keywords, with the help of the PPC or with the help of the organic results, how to stay on this first page, and to compete with other sellers correctly.
Absolutely. So it goes back down to, again, ranking. So let's say you do a campaign for 30 days. You're generous, you have enough money, you do it for 30 days. And then you start getting, just giving an example, 20 a day consistently, 20 sales, 20 sales, 20 sales for a whole month. Whether it's giveaways and PPC combined, but you're doing 20. You finish the giveaway campaign. You're doing no more ranking. You're already on page 1. Now you're like, okay, I'm already here. I don't need to do anything. What you can do, if it continues, if you keep getting 20 sales a day, which you should because you're organic on page 1 now, you can continue getting the normal sales. You don't have to do anything if you're not falling in rank. When you start falling in rank, that means a few things. One thing, it may mean that your competition is doing what you did. They're trying to get on page one, and there's only so many spots on page one, right? So what you can do, you can either increase your PPC to get those sales, or you can continue doing giveaways. But you don't have to necessarily, when I say giveaways, you don't necessarily have to use my service. Just think of a way where you can get those extra sales every single day. Whether you reach out on Instagram to influencers, or you reach out to maybe some friends of friends, as long as you have those sales. Because what happens if you have already 20 sales a day and you fall and you're getting 10 sales a day only, then Amazon is like, well, this guy's not doing so good anymore. Let me move the other guy who's doing 20 sales. So the point is for Amazon to make money. If you're making the money, they're going to keep you on page one. If you're not making them that much money, they're going to put the other guy who makes them money. So you always have to compete with that. And that's easily checked. Every day you can check your ranking, see where you are. Okay, if you fell in, a position or two or something, it's not too bad because it fluctuates. But, if you're automatically on page two, then you should definitely start kicking things into gear. Again, you can do PPC, you can do giveaways, you can do it with my company, or you can find yourself. Whatever you need to do, you need to keep your rank, because there's always competition. There's always sellers. You may think you have a unique product, but there's always people trying to copy it. There's always, because China, so easy to get products. You can get the same exact product and they're like, you know what? I'm so much better than this guy. My listing is so much better. My pictures are so much better. So they're all fighting for the same spot. So you already made it on page one. Don't let go of that. If you fall a little bit, again, increase your PPC or do more giveaways.
Yeah, so every time you should understand that the most of the your competitors could do the same as you do. Yeah, and if you'll get a chance to get into the first page, you should continue do it till you will see that the organic results is going up and the Amazon still gets the same amount of profit or more. Yeah, because the Amazon, it's a system like money making machine.
Exactly, and once you're on Amazon for longer, you're already old on Amazon. You've been doing 6 months or a year. You're starting to gather reviews. So now you're on page one. You also have more reviews. And you also, I have a friend, which you probably know, Christina, she's had her brand for 10 years. So for her, she doesn't even care. It doesn't matter what competitors come, because she has so much data with Amazon that she will always have bestsellers, even though there are companies coming in and out all the time. But because of all the years and all the data she's shown Amazon, she already has her spot there per se. So
I really like the idea about the big sellers, with a great products and great experience when they get a bestsellers, and they just start selling and they continue to do all these things. In the case of the giveaways or the PPC, they not stop them. They still do all these actions, but they could do it
they never
cheaper.
Stop.
They never stop. Yeah, exactly.
Never stop. A lot of sellers think, oh wow, that guy made it so good. No, those guys, they don't sleep. You understand? They're going so hard because they already built something. They know what it means. They know what it means to be on page one. They know what it means to make $1 million a month, or 2 or 5 or 10 in some cases. I see sellers who make so much money. But trust me, they're the ones that are always going very hardcore. They're we're not doing they're doing giveaways of 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 units. They don't ever want to lose that spot. And for good reason. Imagine if you make a few million a month. But again, for the little sellers, I don't want them to be intimidated, because even these big sellers, they started from the same point.
Exactly.
They started from the same point. Everybody started from the same point. Everybody made the same mistakes. Now it's actually better because we have, Facebook groups where people can talk to each other. Hey, how did you do this? How can I avoid this mistake? Whereas before, this information wasn't as easily accessible. So for us, the sellers of today, it's so much easier to be better. Amazon will always give you all these troubles, and they will suspend your listing for things that are irrelevant. But in a way, it's eliminating those people who are weak and they cannot take it. They cannot take this type of business. But for those that actually don't mind and they keep doing it, they keep doing it, they keep doing it, those are the ones that will eventually be successful.
Exactly. I really agree on it. And it's fair enough that we should absolutely understand how to play this game. Like what the rules we have inside the Amazon on playing and being the best here. So yeah, that is a really great point. Think about that. And Izabela, I guess the last question for today, in a case of what is the best way to reach you? Yeah, if somebody will have any additional questions, just to get more and more insights from your side.
You're too kind. Thank you so much. I'm very social. You can find me on Facebook, Izabela Hamilton, or rankbell.com. Myself or some girls on my team will be happy to help you. But yeah, even if you have questions and you don't have to use the service, you just come and ask me something. We'll be very, very happy to help anyone. This is what we do. We all have companies and somebody helped us, and we're always looking forward to helping somebody else. And actually, if some of your sellers are listening and they go to my website, I have a place where they can submit for a free launch. So if anybody, we do this every month. We pick the winner from last month. So by the end of this month, in a few days, we'll pick another one, and we do a full giveaway campaign up to 300 units, all covered by Rankbell. So yeah, if they want to sign up, and they have a chance to win for sure.
Amazing price for our Dr. Amazon audience. That is perfect.
Of course, absolutely, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Izabela, for this podcast and sharing all these insights with us. It was really helpful, and you just bomb it again.
Thank you. Anytime. You let me know and we'll do it again.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you.
And that is all for today's Dr. Amazon episode. Don't miss our future arrivals with new hot topics. Press the like, leave us a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. We will come back to you shortly.